Good morning, this is Mr. Hill. I'm your teacher for summer school, grade 12 college mathematics. I'm going to use this video to go over how I lay out the course. So hopefully you kind of get a sense of where everything is that you need to be able to um, communicate with me, as well as do your assignments and hand in everything you need to do. Okay, I'm going to go over all these little icons here: the course home, the content, the assignments, the quizzes, the grades, the class list, the course admin. Actually, that course admin is me, and the calendar. So the news feed, all the announcements and everything like that, everything I need to do to communicate with you, to talk to the class, I communicate as news in the course home. Okay, so the first message I sent out, we had a little overview, and I do talk about how I lay out the course in this video, but I want to walk you through it anyway. So I guess technically the course begins today, not yesterday, but I did make content available yesterday. Don't worry, it takes everyone a couple days to kind of get signed in. So I do kind of reduce the workload in the first few days so that everyone has a chance kind of to be caught up by the end of the first week. If not by the end of the first week, but after the first weekend, hopefully you'll have a chance to get caught up. I try to leave your weekends free and treat it like a work week, so that if you work hard during the week, hopefully you'll be able to take the weekend off. Now, just like a summer school course, you're expected to be able to put, summer school runs from 8:30 to 3:30 every day, and they're putting in a full 6 hours, and that's what you're expected to do. I mean, the same amount of hours you're expected to do to be able to keep up with the workload for this course. Now you have it's a little more flexible. You can put in those hours on your own time, but you're still expected to put in those amount of hours. So when I'm assigning work, I take that into consideration with how much is due in one day, and what I think you can complete given that you're putting in that amount of time. Okay, I think that you could probably put in less than that and still manage to finish everything, but I do take a lot of that into consideration. Okay, so my announcements, my communication stuff with you is in the course home. In the content section, let's just click on this here. Now we have, these are all our modules, our units. Okay, now I'm gonna go over the first one. So, course information and student information you can have a look at, but really I want to talk about how the units are laid out. So if I click on a unit, you'll see that we have a bunch of stuff laid out here. So the Unit 1 overview, this is all the curriculum expectations if you're interested in reading that stuff. And if I go to A1 surveys, okay, this is where we begin. Now, I expect that you're clicking through these links here, okay? These are the expectations, the content. Now, the content is laid out so that it's expected for you to read. These are like the lessons in class. There are all these little links here, like how to create a survey. If you click on this link, it will take you to a nice little widget, and I'm expecting that you're going through this widget and you're doing all this stuff, and you're reviewing this material before you proceed to the next little tab. Okay, you click next. You review some more of this material. There's some more links to, say, SurveyMonkey, which is a tool I ask you to use to create a survey online. And the last little bit, all these little bits, they lead up to an assignment. Okay. Now, generally the assignments are laid out so that there's a document that you can download. Okay. I do, once again, repeat that you have to review this little widget on how to create a survey. Now, all these questions, what is the purpose of a survey? Who is the target audience? Identify any bias. All this is available right inside this assignment document. Okay. Now, even though I make it available as a docx file, so a Word document, I do that so that you can edit it. I expect that you're using this to create your assignment, but when you are ready to submit your work, you need to save it as a PDF and submit it to the assignment. Now, if you're worried about how this is, so once you're ready to submit it, hold on, I'll just review that. So once you've created your assignment, you're happy with it, and you want to submit it, there is a drop box that matches the assignment title. Okay, so the first one was Activity 1, Assignment 1, SurveyMonkey, and this is where you would submit that assignment. Now, I will only mark assignments that are submitted to the correct Dropbox. Okay, and it's also a good way for you to track what you've completed. Now, all the due dates for those assignments are beside the Dropbox over here. Now, those due dates are like pacemakers. I treat due dates as a way so that you can successfully complete the course on time, and that you can pace yourself at a good rate so that you can complete a decent amount of work every day, and that you can complete the course on time. Now, I do keep these drop boxes open for about 2 days after the deadline, but please try to stick to the due dates so that you can pace yourself in order to be successful in this course. If you stick to the due dates, you do a little bit of work every day, you chip away at it, you will have no problems finishing this course on time. Okay. Once a Dropbox is closed, though, I will not mark your work. Okay. I do leave them open long enough that I think it's fair for you to complete it. If you haven't completed in that amount of time, then you're going to be at risk of failing the course. Okay. Now, so I went through the course home, the content, and assignments. Now, the quizzes. Most of the work that we do in this class is assignments. Okay. And those assignments, like I said, they come up in order in the content section. So I'm just going to do a quick little, even though I went through this already, but your first, here's your Unit 1, A1 leads to Assignment 1, A2, okay? Here's a little quiz, okay? A3, and then here's all the content, and it leads up to this assignment right here, and so on. So I'm expecting that you're doing this stuff in order. Now, the quizzes, just like you see here, for the module A2, right, there is a quiz that kind of pops up in that order. Now, the only difference between quizzes and assignments is the format. Okay, quizzes aren't worth anymore. Tests aren't worth anymore. If it's out of 20, it's worth 20 marks. Okay, so a test and assignment is worth the same. Okay, all this work is meant to be completed and to show that you've covered the curriculum for the course, and that allows me to evaluate you based on what you know about each little module that you complete. Okay, now as I mark things, the grades get updated. Okay. You can find all your marks in the grade section. They also appear in the assignment section too. And I use this grade item, this estimated current mark. On your thing, you'll see a little calculator here to show you what I've marked as a class. Now, if I move this down and there's only student information sheets above it, it means that as a class, I've marked just the student information sheets, and only those things are included in your average. So right now I haven't marked anything, and nothing is above estimated current mark. So your average will be 0 because nothing is included in this. Okay. Now as I mark things, I will move this down, and everything above it is included in your average. Okay. So you don't need to ask me what your average is. You can always know what your marks are for the individual assignments that I've marked, and I will try to mark things, within once the drop boxes are closed. I do mark things as a class set, so once the drop box is closed, I'll mark everything, and then update your mark as soon as I have everything updated. So within a day or at least 2 days of you submitting your work, I will try to keep those marks updated. Okay. The class list, You can find me on this class list if you want, but really the best way to get a hold of me is through my email. Now I did write it in this thing right here. So hilld@tcdsb.org. It's the best way to get a hold of me. It's easier than emailing me through Brightspace or D2L. Because I can easily respond from my email. If you email me through Brightspace, then I have to log into Brightspace and respond to you. Okay, so the quickest way, the easiest way is to email Hilld, and I can respond hopefully as soon as possible. Okay, I do have a life and I do have stuff going on just like you guys, so please be mindful that and respectful, and I will do my best to give you feedback and help you out as much as I can. Okay, now I hope that helps. I'm going to stop this here. I don't want this to be too long, but that's my overview for the course. Get started, and hopefully just chip away at it, and you try to do a little bit of not a little bit. I mean, there's a decent amount every day, but if you stick to my due dates and you pace yourself, I think you won't feel overwhelmed with this course. You'll have some weekends free, and you'll be successful. Okay, let me know if you have any questions, and good luck, guys. Okay.